Hello and welcome. First of all, I would like to apologize. I made 2 videos a year ago and disappeared. We had some family issues. Things are settling down. So I thought it'd be a good time to get back and making some videos. Today I decided to work on a video about the lathe. We are going to be making these cute, adorable little snowmen. I do have a picture. It should be coming up right about there. This video we're going to be working on the snowman, and then I'm going to be doing another video where we're going to be making little Christmas trees. I figured, by the time this is uploaded, it'll be past Thanksgiving, so it'll be snowman time. Dun dun. To make these little snowmen, we're going to need, obviously, some wood. I cut some scrap down to a 1/4 inch square. That's going to be for making the carrot nose. And then the body, this is 5/8 of an inch by 5/8 of an inch. It's all hard maple. This is scrap that I have laying around. If you don't have any scrap, you could go to even a big box store and get some 1 by whatever. So that'll be 3/4 of an inch thick, and then just cut it 3/4 of an inch with your bandsaw, table saw, whatever you have, to get square stock with, and you're good to go. So, as far as the lathe goes, you're going to need a chuck for jaw chuck, a parting tool, and a skew chisel. I mean, you could use whatever tools you want to, but this is all I'm going to be using today. And you're also going to need a drill. I decided to go with a 5/64 drill bit. Basically, we're going to be drilling a hole, and then we're going to be making a tenon on the carrot to stick it in. Basically, Mr. Potato Head. So, what I did was, in order to make the carrot, I drilled a hole in a piece of stock. This is going to be what I'm going to use to verify I have the correct size. Alright, so I have the square stock chucked up. Now I'm just going to take my skew chisel, make it into a cylinder. Now I also have a caliper here that I have set to the right diameter. Get close to where I think I need to be. Still a little thick. Now, you don't have to use a 5/64 drill bit. You can use a much bigger one, as long as it's smaller than the carrot. I guess I'm just a glutton for punishment. So, I'm having, it fits in there. It's a little bit loose, so if you look really closely at the tenon, it is kind of coming in at an angle, so I'm just going to make it a little bit longer. Then I'm just going to take it and put it in the hole. That's exactly what I want. It's a nice firm fit. So now we're just going to imagine where the carrot's going to be, how long it's going to be. It's going to be about that long, I'm guessing. I'm going to bring the diameter down. I don't want it to be that thick. This is basically what I'm shooting for. There we go. I'm going to turn the speed down. I'm not going to sand it. I'm going to grab a marker here. This is a fluorescent orange marker from Sharpie. You got to be careful with Sharpies. This doesn't bleed, but if you would put a finish over the top of this Sharpie, it would bleed all over the place. So if you're going to put a polyurethane finish over the top, don't use a Sharpie. Alright, I'm just going to bring her down to a point. Now it's really important to get a whole bunch of marker on your hands like you're a 5-year-old. Alright, so we now have the carrot. As far as the length goes, it's what, like 3 inches? It's way too long. Yeah, it's like 3 and 3 1/4. And the guy making here is only, a little more than 1.5 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to make this into a cylinder. I would normally use a gouge, but I said we're going to use a skew chisel for everything today. Now, if you want to know if you're a cylinder or not, can you hear that clicking? So we know we're not yet. Once that's a nice smooth sound, we know we're a cylinder. Now my end is really flat, otherwise I could take and make a cut to square it up. So I made a template. You could just eyeball it. I just wanted to make a whole bunch that are the same size. Just a very simple story stick. So basically, here's the hat, here's the brim, here's the first snowball, here's the second snowball. That's it. We have a stovepipe type hat, so it's bigger on the top than it is on the bottom. So I'm just going to take my skew chisel and I'm going to scribe in where all my pencil lines are. I'm just going to scribe in. So that stovepipe hat, we're just going to come in. And that's the shape I want. Now I'm going to put a pencil line in the middle between these two lines. I got it in there a little bit. Clean that up. So we're not looking for a perfect circle there. He's wearing a hat. He's a snowman. He's got a little scrunched in there. That's just kind of the way it goes. Then we're going to round this over. Now I'm putting a little bit of round on the bottom. And this is going to be very barrel shaped. That's what we're looking for. So his hat is going to have a band on it, so I'm going to scribe in 2 lines. Now you could leave it like that. What I'm going to do is I have a piece of wire here. I'm just going to set it in there and I'm going to burn some lines. Just helps separate everything. We'll do a little sanding. We're not going to go nuts. Alright. So on the lathe, I turn the speed down. Now we're just going to color in the hat. Now I got a little bit of paint on the snowball, which is perfectly fine. We're just going to come back and clean that up with a chisel. Now I have a silver marker. Give it a little silver band. So I'm going to turn the speed back up. I'm going to come in with my skew and just get rid of that paint. Okay, it's marker. We'll pretend it's paint. The marker didn't go all the way in. It's not perfectly smooth, and that's fine. It's going to give it a little feeling of it being older. Now I'm just going to pick a spot to drill. Now I put a piece of tape here so I don't drill all the way through him. Unless we're making some cannonball hole from, Calvin and Hobbes. We probably don't want to drill all the way through. So I'm going to drill. Now, if you wanted to, you could wood burn or paint in here. I'm going to use this marker. I'm going to draw in my eyeballs. Now, you know, these are traditionally coal, so you don't have to worry about being perfectly circular. There we go. Now it looks like he's screaming. So we'll grab our little carrot that we made earlier. Put him in the hole. Now I made this a very tight fit. I'm not going to glue it. I'm just going to tap her in. So now we're just going to separate it. So we're finally going to use our parting tool. So you could part it entirely off if you want to. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take him, and then I'm going to cut that little piece off on the scroll saw. So there you go. The next thing I would do is I would spray him with some glaze so he's shiny. So I kind of like the glaze. Definitely makes him look a little bit nicer. So there you go. You can make them any proportions you want, obviously. It's just a nice little thing to do with your skew chisel. And next time we'll make some Christmas trees. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'm sure I missed something, feel free to leave me a comment. I will answer it. And thank you so much for watching. Hopefully it was alright.